Let's dive into an incredible career journey. I'm Penny Lane and In the Driver's Seat starts now. Welcome to In the Driver's Seat, where we delve into the lives of extraordinary individuals who drive their industries forward. In this episode, we get an exclusive on an inspiring journey of a champion swimmer, Commonwealth record holder, and clinical psychologist, Rachel Go. Hi Rachel.
Hi Penny.
Thanks so much for coming on the show today. Now, you've had an amazing, diverse career. Let's start right back at the beginning, because I know you mentioned to me you had really motivating parents. Tell me a little bit about your childhood and how life was for you early on.
I probably have a unique childhood in that I started swimming at the age of 4 years of age. Like anyone else, I probably went to all the swimming lessons, and I was that kid who sat on the pool who didn't want to do it.
Oh, really?
But lo and behold, I did one day decide I'm just going to join in and jump in. From there, I was a unique, I say unique, it's different because I loved it so much. I was winning at 8 years of age, and I had set my sights on wanting to represent Australia, go to the Olympics, or get as far as I could, if not achieve everything possible in swimming. And I was super committed to it.
And that was at such an early age.
Very much.
And you have achieved so much in swimming. You were on the Australian team for how long was it?
10 years. So my very first Australian team was when I was 16 years of age.
Yeah.
And it was a very confronting, I think is the word, confronting experience when you pack your bags and travel with the rest of your Australian team.
Yeah, and tell us about the moment where you went professional.
Oh, professional. I speak about this moment. It was that team where I was selected to represent Australia. You get your Australian team uniform sent in the mail, which was super exciting. You're traveling. I travelled to Europe with the rest of the Australian swimmers, and one of my teammates was Ian Thorpe. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, and the reason I mention things like that is because being a child, growing up and admiring your the legends of our sport and the people who inspire you, to then be a part of a team with them is absolutely an amazing experience. So.
Yeah, that would have been phenomenal. Was you a little bit starstruck at first?
Very much. I mean, we're all the same. We're the same team, and I think that's what builds our swimming family and the community, because it's such a supportive space.
Yeah.
Whether you're young or a little bit older, we're there for each other.
And did you find that you had a particular mentor? Did anybody take you under their wing?
Oh, good question. I think everyone does. We talk about this swimming family and swimming community, and I could even tell you today I would not be anywhere without the people that I grew up with swimming, and it's a lifetime kind of connection.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. And you went over to America to swim and study? I
did. I then went to the US in 2017, so I was there for 4.5 years. Absolute amazing experience. It served the purpose. I was there to just swim with some of the best swimmers across the globe, and I loved it for what it was, a time and a place in my life that it just was where I was meant to be.
And did you get to go to somewhere pretty special, some special house you were telling me?
I did. The world of the US college system in swimming is really unique and different because it sets an athlete up to basically every support is there for you, and that's how it's designed. And I was at Auburn University, which was the #1 swimming university in the US.
Wow.
And a melting pot of swimmers as well. I had the Olympic gold medalists and champions from Brazil, from France, the UK, and they were my teammates, and we ended up winning the NCAA championships for consecutive years. And during that time, it was the presidency of George Bush, and he loves his sport, so every year he would invite the winners to go to the White House and celebrate with him.
So you've been to the White House?
Yes, I have. Very surprising experience, and you learn a lot.
Yeah, wow, that would have been awesome. What was the thing that you can remember the most about being there? Was there anything strange with the decor, or was there anything? What was it like?
The strange is probably, I mean, everything is security and protected, and the thing that sticks out to me was the security. So you would see the security with the sniper guns or whatnot around.
Oh,
And that for me as a, how old was I then? I think I was 19, 20,
yeah.
21. You're sort of, it's a very eye-opening experience, and it needs to be. I recognise
How
that.
fabulous.
Yeah.
And in your career, you would have had a lot of, I know you've had a lot of challenges, but you've also had a lot of success. Tell me about the Commonwealth record that you broke.
Absolutely. It is the only Commonwealth record that I had. It was in the 100-metre backstroke short course championships, and in that race, I do talk about this quite a bit because it's one of my big life lessons that I like to share, is I got a Commonwealth record and an Australian record, which means no one in the event in the Commonwealth had ever swum faster than I had at that moment in time.
Congratulations, what an achievement.
Thank you. And yeah, it's something I really hold dear today, and I probably had to learn how to hold that as an achievement for myself as well.
Yeah, how did you feel that moment when you won?
It was an interesting one because what I talk about with a lot of people is I actually didn't win the race. I ended up coming fourth. So,
What?
Yeah, so it was at a World Championships and I ended up getting fourth, which means the people that got the gold, silver, bronze are absolutely the best in the world. I ended up getting fourth, but I also then consequently got a Commonwealth record and Australian record, and walking away from that, sometimes you feel a little bit like there's a failure and you didn't necessarily get what you want, and it takes time to process that actually I never got another Commonwealth record. It's one of the greatest achievements and I'm really proud of it now, and I can say that to you.
Yeah. Did you find that being an athlete that you always feel like you're chasing something?
Yes, very good question, because I think we are somewhat taught to set goals and then move the goalpost. You want to keep achieving. That's what you train year after year, if not meet after meet for. And relishing in your achievements is something that I think you actually have to learn as you're growing.
I bet, yeah, because you've got that hunger in you all the time. And after swimming, I know a lot of athletes can really struggle with a career change. Did you have one planned out already?
I did, and I am a little bit blessed. I feel blessed in I had something more worthwhile that was another passion of mine, and I was very mindful that it does happen in sport, that you don't want to be ending a career in sport that you spent your entire life doing with not a lot to then pursue after that. So it actually was a nice transition for me. I'd reached the pinnacle of swimming and everything I thought I could actually achieve, and then my psychology career was becoming a lot more demanding. I had to do the honours program and then beyond that masters if I was going to get in at the time, and it was a full-time commitment. I tried to spread it across part-time, but there was a time and period of my life there was kind of like a sliding doors moment, and I'm really happy that I could bring swimming into the psychology space
into what you do, and you're obviously very determined and hardworking in the pool, but your education is phenomenal. How many degrees is it that you've got?
I have 5 degrees.
Wow.
13 years of study.
Wow.
Mostly because our profession does require it. I always say that had I not had to, I wouldn't necessarily have, but also because I moved between Australia to the US and US to Australia. There's more years of study in that.
More years, Congratulations, you've achieved so much. And being in psychology, what's the most common thing that you see with people?
Yep, I like the more complex psychology and trauma work. It's not always a preference for some, but many work in the field of trauma. I really enjoy it because when I started out as a provisional psychologist, I worked in family violence and sexual abuse and the low SES spaces, and I really fell in love with it because I knew I could do the work with the clients and I could make a difference in that space. So.
Yeah, it's so much needed, isn't it?
Yeah.
And is there anything that you see as a general, like seeing lots and lots of different people, is there any problems that that's like quite a common problem that people have?
Very common problems, I think. I guess in my work, I would say I'm used to seeing complex PTSD, which means things that have happened to someone in childhood, and they can be really severe disruptions or trauma, horrific things that then impact them in their adult life now.
Yeah.
That means then, yes, you're going to have things like anxiety, depression, maybe some neurodiverse issues or personality issues. So when I'm looking at that and working with clients, commonly it's the bigger picture, the full picture of what makes them them.
And what would you say to somebody that might be struggling with some things that happened in their childhood? What would be the first steps that they would need to take?
Oh, good. The one I would say is a willingness to be vulnerable and seek help.
Yeah, that's hard.
It is very challenging. I often will be talking to clients and mentioning that stepping into a space with myself or in our therapy space, it's challenging because it does mean you have to kind of bring the walls down.
And how do you do that? How do you make people feel comfortable and relaxed?
Oh, I really like doing the work with them, and I generally create a space where they get to know Rachel, and we have to connect on a human level as two people coming together. Then they can understand I'm also Rachel, the clinical psychologist, who will help you do the work, because the relationship is foundational to how we're going to work together, how well we will do in our work. And I'm very lucky that I've generally had longer term clients because we can get from start to finish and get them in a place that they're thriving.
Wow, I bet you've made a lot of difference to a lot of people's lives. We're almost out of time, I can't believe it. Just one quick last question. How do you manage your own well-being when you're dealing with so many other people's?
I have a really good support network, and I always have. I think I've carried that through my life and the sport of swimming. I essentially wouldn't go through life without a tribe of people or a village of people behind you, and lucky that I've maintained networks and relationships for a lifetime.
Yeah, amazing. You've really had a really interesting career. You're obviously a beautiful person. Lovely to have you on the show, Rachel. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
In the Driver's Seat is brought to you by the Perfect Cosmetics Company. Join me next time to learn more from industry legends about how you can take the wheel and steer your life in the right direction. This is Tika, and we'll be right back.
You're watching Tika. We'll have more in just a few minutes.